to court and he said, look, I had this, bought it with my firearms ID card, a license that you go through what a policeman goes through to become a policeman to qualify to get this. He had that card, he had lawfully acquired it years ago. He had no idea that this was an assault firearm. No idea. It was essentially saying ignorance or mistake of law. New Jersey court rejected right out of hand. And here's a quote from the court. What do you expect when you possess such an offensive weapon? And then they stated, when it comes to guns in New Jersey, it is perilous. You do it at your own peril. Not that the law should be reasonable. No, no, no. You possess at your peril. And it doesn't matter you didn't know that that was an assault firearm. And again, they upped the penalty on that one to the same as handgun. 10 years, no parole, etc., minimum mandatories, presumptives, all jammed in. And also knocking out the ability to get what's called diversionary program, where they, you know, if you behave for a good period of time, they'll dismiss the charge. All that gone. And at that point, you know, you really say they're really just after gun owners. It's not about the guns anymore. It's about destroying us as people when they do that kind of penalties. You know, it's just insane. But back to New Hampshire. Although it's good to conflict back and forth so you can see the difference.
Did he go to prison, Pelletieri?
Pelletieri was before this, so it was a third-degree offense. And as a matter of fact, the judge was apologetic over the whole thing. Actually felt really bad and said the minimum that he could give at that time was this other, I believe it was a probationary period. So he gave him the absolute minimum he could. Because even he said, but my hands are tied and you were convicted. And you had to do it. But it was, you know, another absurdity like that. Yes?
Sorry, one more.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Jury trial for him, stuff like that?
Did what?
Did you get a jury trial?
He had a jury trial. And the jury convicted him. We're dealing with New Jersey juries. Remember, the old saying is, I mean, I'm all for the fully informed jury, and I understand all that, but there's a threshold question you have to ask. How smart can those 12 people be if they couldn't avoid jury duty? So, you know, you got to consider that in the mix. And I've had cases where I waived jury trial with good reason, because tell you one, not to tell you a war story, but I had one case where the guy, 20 years as a cure and relics guy. The New Jersey State Police came down on him for being an unlicensed dealer, which was a load of crap. That's a legal term. So after that happened, they brought this indictment. They alleged unlawfully acquired handguns, etc., etc. I brought a motion to dismiss all counts. There were about 8 counts. Judge agreed, dismissed them all. What did the state do? Brought a superseding indictment on the same things. Like, what are we going to do? This, you know, for what, till the statute of limitations runs out? So I said, you know what? Try it right now. Let's have the trial. And no jury trial. Why would I? I just had a judge dismiss it on motion. I don't want a jury trial. Prosecutors here, I want a jury trial. Yeah, he wants 12 dummies he can fool about guns. No. Judge looks at him. It's not your right to a jury trial. It's his right to a jury trial. He doesn't want it. So, you know, but that's what you run into. So, you know, sometimes juries, I've won a lot of jury trials, and juries are great, but you got to be careful. You know, it's not always a rule, hey, give me that jury trial. You got to weigh it out. But speaking of carry, important thing to help you is on interstate. Because a lot of you like to travel to the Free State. You like to come here from other places. How do you lawfully transport your firearm from wherever you're going to New Hampshire? And to that, we do have some really good federal law. It's Title 18, 926A. It's in my book. It's online. You can grab it off the NRA website. It's Interstate Transport of Firearms. Under the Firearm Owners Protection Act, this was put forward to allow you to go through all the evil jurisdictions like New Jersey, etc., with your firearm, as long as you're doing the following. You're going from one place where you legally can possess and carry the firearm to the other place where you can legally possess and carry the firearm. And when you transport it, the firearm is unloaded, cased, and not readily accessible. That's the deal. So let me fill in some examples. If you have a Florida carry license, let's say, and you're leaving from Florida, New Hampshire recognizes Florida. You're legal to possess and carry in Florida and New Hampshire. You now can travel that whole East Coast in that manner, and you'll be safe in doing it. Now, what if you run into an officer who doesn't know the law? Well,
you don't talk.
That's the reason to have the book to show them, or run it off the internet and have it with you. You know, it's important because and I'll tell you what, if you show the officer this, now you've even strengthened your case civilly. Now you put him on notice about the law, and he still ignored it. And